Hey guys, what is up? So I'm going to take this time before the podcast starts to say thank you for watching. And if you haven't yet, like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast, as well as check out the vlogs and all those videos as well. So before the podcast starts, let me show you this cool little video of this really cool guy. So enjoy it. And then after it's over, we'll go right into the podcast. Oh, John D. Clouser. That's all my social medias for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You know all that stuff.
Breaking the law. You're taking 2 fucking spots. You can take that with you. Take it back to your buddies, your managers. They're pieces of shit too. Just like you.
Anything else?
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, you cunt. Oh, by the way, your mother sucks cocks in hell. How do you like you now? Huh? Great. This is going on YouTube, bro. What's your name? What's your name? I will be giving this to the police, by the way. You're lucky there's no officers at the fucking substation, or you'd be getting 2 tickets right now, you fucking asshole. And there's your fucking asshole buddy over there. Works for UPS too.
All right. All right. All right, guys. Hey, how are you doing? This is a new episode of the podcast called The John Show with your host, John D. Clouser, episode Dose. I hope you guys are doing great. I am doing well. And man, it has been some time, it feels like, because I have been on the road, doing film stuff. So I've been from Hawaii to Arkansas to North Dakota and back to Kansas City. It's been a good, fun time doing this. Doing traveling, you have to, sometimes fly by plane. And so one thing I've been noticing that, like, the people wearing masks, it's interesting. Now, I don't understand, since you're already in the swamp as it is, like the corona swamp. I don't know. If you've been living underneath a rock, I don't know where you've been. So this whole thing going on right now called the coronavirus. Corona in Latin means crown. So it's like the crown virus because it looks like a crown, apparently. And so that's why it's called corona. But so you're already in the swamp as it is with this virus going around. So I don't understand why you're wearing a mask. But then I thought, on the other hand, maybe you're wearing a mask because you have the virus. But then if you have the virus, then why are you out on a plane? That's like the last place you should be doing. That's the last place you should be, in my opinion. Well, the thing is, too, is if it's not the coronavirus, it's the people who travel with animals. I don't understand why people travel with animals. Why you do this? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, it doesn't seem like a fun time. It's not fun to travel to begin with. Like, even have to go travel for work, travel for pleasure. It's super stressful. You have to take your shoes off. If you don't have the pre-pass, then you have to do all these things, and they pat you down. They take your hat off. They check your bags. All this bullshit. All this stuff because of 9/11. And thanks, Obama. If it wasn't for Obama, then we probably wouldn't have these problems. But anyway, it doesn't seem anyway interesting or fun or entertaining to have to travel with animals, especially like a cat, like a giant cat, because you have to pull those things out of the thing when you go through TSA, and then you have to put that thing back in there. And I don't really think that thing's going to be super easy to get in there to begin with, let alone have to take it out and then put it back in there again. So, but it's one of the things. You guys see that catch? That was pretty fucking awesome, wasn't it? And that's like the one time. I do that shit all the time, but no one ever sees it. And now I got it on tape. It's kind of almost like catching it like a ghost or seeing a UFO on tape. But Oh, guys. Oh, God. You guys hear that? Oh, sorry, guys. Anyway, I didn't plug in the microphone part that connects to the inbox for the podcast. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, we're here doing a podcast. Man. So, I'm drinking beer. This is like my 4th beer today, and I feel like such a douchebag. See, growing up, my parents were like super anti-alcohol. They're super anti-drugs, all that stuff. Like nothing like Vicodin. Like I would have, if I had like a surgery or something like that, you can't take the Vicodin. If we do, like it has to be monitored. My mother was super, super cautious about that stuff because she was always afraid that I was going to get hooked on something, which nothing's better than a parent projecting their fears about themselves onto you. Nothing's better than that. But like, so this is how weird my parents were. Like they were so anti-drugs, they were so anti-alcohol. But like, yet, when I was 16, we went off the coast. We had a vacation house in Hawaii, and off the Big Island. And we went off the shore it was a couple miles to go snorkeling. And during that process, we were in this little raft that had an engine on the back of it, which was dumb as hell to do that to begin with. Looking back on it, it was really stupid to do. It was not the brightest moment that we've done as a family. Like, we're doctors, pilots. My parents have like master's degrees, doctorates. So it's like, why are we doing this thing? It makes no sense. And we were out there. We were like, it was really choppy that day. So we're like bouncing up and down. And then we go and we just hit something and the engine just stops. And when the engine just stops, we see this big fucking fin come out of the water. And the guy who was taking us out there is like, oh, that looks like a damn whale shark. If you guys want to, you can go out there and swim with it. And for some reason, my parents were like, yeah, John, if you want to, you can go and swim with this animal. You can swim with this creature, this 100-foot animal. But yet they would not let me ever drink beer when I was young. It was the weirdest thing. And so now when I'm older, I'm like, this is the 4th beer I've had. This, I feel like I feel like I'm overdoing it. Maybe I should like calm down on drinking so much alcohol because if it's 4 beers today, maybe it's like 6 beers tomorrow. Then if it's 6 beers, then maybe it's like a 12-pack in like 2 weeks. And if it's like a 12-pack in 2 weeks, maybe it's 24-pack in like a month. And if I do a month, then 24, then like 30. Then if I get a 30-pack, then what if I do that in like 2 months? And my mind just goes down to this deep, dark rabbit hole of me becoming this alcoholic, which is like, alcohol, one, for me, is not that much fun to do. If I was going to do something, it's going to be a little bit of smoke of some weed. Other than alcohol. Alcohol is just something here, this drink, other than this beautiful sparkling water that I have. So, but it is what it is. And so I feel, but it's funny. I have these weird guilt things, and that's like one of my weird guilt things. That and like spending money, which I think mostly because Jews. I come from a Jew family, so we are very frugal when it comes to our finances, and so we are very careful on what we do and how we spend our money. And then even now, I'm like, I spend money on something, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I should be doing that. Like, oh, I could be saving that. What if something happens? It's like, which is almost worse to live in, I feel, than it is to just like not have any money at all. I'd rather just not have any money and then have like that feeling, but like still have like food, because like mostly what I spend my money on is food. That's all I spend my money on, that. And then I've saved up and bought film equipment, but mostly now it's just I have the gear, so I just use it, and then I just spend most of my money on food and I guess beer. That's it mostly. It's pretty easy. I live a quite easy life. I go out of my way. I meet people and like they'll be 25 and I'm like, oh, I thought you were so much older. I have like this kid vibe. I'm you know what's so fucked up is I don't know if it's bad or not, but I'm pretty okay to admit that like I have like Peter Pan syndrome, that I just don't ever want to grow up. I just want to live a pretty easy life and not have to worry about much. And so I just get the bare minimum. Like I'm like, okay, I need to make X amount of money, and if I make that much money, then I need this amount of money is gonna be used for bills, and then after that I can have a little fuck you money, and that's all I need. Like I don't need anything crazy. It's And I think maybe that's because I have like this third world mindset of things, because I came from the third world. I came from Honduras, if you're not familiar. And maybe it's like because I have that, and I'm like, oh, I've had absolutely nothing, like nothing compared to what I have now. Like I live like a king now for what I used to have like before that. So now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. It's really not that bad. It's not that hard. It's not that big of a deal. But we're here. And it's like, it's going to be really rough until I start getting my pacing going on these podcasts. Because like I feel like I'm just rambling, but that's the whole thing. I keep looking down. I have a stopwatch that starts at 27 minutes and 5 seconds. And then it just counts down. And then whenever I get to 0, that's when I'm done. And so... yeah, I do these podcasts about 27 minutes to like 30 minutes. There's going to be a little extra time now because I think I'm going to add a little video at the beginning of it, which I will probably most likely never acknowledge or ever, like, I just think they're funny little videos. They're nothing. Besides this one moment right here, I will probably never acknowledge them ever again. But I think I find a lot of weird videos. And because of that, I like to share those videos with people. And so if this is a platform for me to be able to do that, I should do that. So let's get back into some little segments. So one of my favorite things I love to do, guys, which is a great habit to get into, is go on Craigslist. If you're not familiar with Craigslist is, it's a website on the internets, the thing that Al Gore invented. And what you do is you go on there on Craigslist, and there's this beautiful little nugget, this little section of the world called misconnections. And you can go to any city in the whole United States, and people will list misconnections they had with other people. It's mostly guys who just didn't have the courage enough to talk to a girl, which is fair because it is hard sometimes to talk to women. It is very hard. But my whole thing is, this is probably one of the greatest pieces of advice that I ever got. And this was from my uncle. He was like, listen here, you're a little cocksucker. So like, no matter what you do, you're always going to be a piece of shit because you're a guy and you're trying to get your dick wet. I'm like, okay. He's like, so what you got to do is you just got to take chances. Christoper Columbus took chances. You should take chances. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that. So take fucking chances. That's how I look at it. And if you fucking fail and you bomb, yeah, you move on. You fail and you bomb. But so anyway, with Craigslist, I love going on here and checking out some of the misconnections. So let's start out with something easy. So this is how they go. 1, Hy-Vee on 72nd Street in Gladstone, Missouri. It's a little suburb of Kansas City, Missouri. So we crossed paths several times this afternoon, nodded and said hello. You had a blue shirt and blue pants. Interested? ? Now, I don't understand. Like, if you guys nodded and you said hello, then why don't you just go ahead and say hi to her? Worst case scenario, she's just gonna, you read it wrong, and guess what? You seen the situation, and now you can't audible out of it when you get into that situation again. The whole key thing is you got to get yourself into weird fucking places. And if you do that, it makes it a lot easier. It's going to be kind of like how this podcast is. If I just keep on doing it and I keep on slamming my head into a wall, I will eventually, hopefully feel like I am not completely bombing while doing this. But the whole thing is I got to keep talking. If you just keep on talking about this, that, anything, everything, it'll be okay. And the sad thing is, if you're still here watching this, you're a great person. You must absolutely have nothing else to do because you're listening to a guy talking to a microphone on the 3rd floor of a mansion in Kansas City, Missouri, which I'm saying there's worse things you could be listening to or watching, I think. There's a lot better things. But thank you guys. If you guys haven't yet subscribed, you should like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast. Give me things to talk about. Send me questions. Feel free on Instagram or on Twitter. Ask me a question. DM me. What's awesome, what I really like doing is like when I get a lot of DMs on questions about like camera stuff. And I love answering those kind of questions. Those are my favorite questions to answer. I feel like those are the things I can answer the most. Film stuff I can answer. Podcasting equipment I can answer. If I don't answer back right away, it's not because I'm like ignoring you. It's honestly just because like I'll see it and then I'm on set and I have to do other stuff. I have to do producing stuff. It's really cool. Actually, talking about that, like I have a media pass now. So like when I travel, I can have all this extra film gear and they don't charge me extra money because of it. It's pretty fucking cool. It's one of the little perks of my job because I'm always traveling with all this fucking gear. No joke. I average like we'll carry like 4 totes. These 4 big old like pellet cases that are like 99 pounds each. It's the most insane thing that we do. But it's I fucking love my job. It is so much fun to travel and to be on set and to be in the fucking trenches at all times, and my hands are so in it, and it's awesome. And like I think probably the biggest hurdle right now is just because I'm still rather new at it, so I'm just not able to fully understand like all the X's and O's yet, but I'm getting there, and that's what's so awesome. Is that once I get really good at this job, it's going to be pretty fucking great. But it's also weird too because like I'll be like super, super busy and then I won't be busy. Like this next week, so far it's like pretty wide open. So like it's going to be a lot of me just in like the warehouse, organizing it, seeing equipment, trying to sell equipment, like putting equipment up online to sell it, those kind of things. And then, then we'll go from there. But it's fun. It's awesome. So what else do I have to talk about? I have about like 12 minutes left. We can go back to Craigslist real quick. So let's go to another one. All right, the next one is any daddies need quick relief. Let me say that to you guys again. Any daddies need quick relief. Kansas City. Tall, good looking, clean, and loves to please daddy. And how they spell daddy is DADDIE, which is not bad, but is that the proper way to do it for like if you're doing like a want to be submissive, you spell it like IE instead of Y? Because I would assume you spell it with a Y. That'd be much easier. But I'll come to you. And this person's Keek, K-I-K, Kick. Is that Kick? Kick me on here. Terry Girl 11. So it's a girl, apparently. Probably a tranny, which is fine. I wouldn't do that if I were you, but that's just me. It's always weird. Like, whenever it's like a girl, I always immediately, if it's like a woman who's wanting to do something like that, like rather than like, I'll just suck your dick without knowing you or carrying anything. It's like it's either A, a prostitute, or B, what it is a tranny, which is or transsexual, or usually something like that, which is completely fine. Or it's just like someone who's horny. It could just be someone who's horny, but those are usually my circumstances or any times that I've ran into that. When I start going down that alley and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a dude. That's a dude. It's usually a dude because dudes like to come a lot. We will do a lot of dumb stuff to try to come. That's one of the beautiful things about us. That's one of the great things that we are. And that's one of the ugly things that we are, because we've done a lot of things because we've tried to come. Mostly everything we do is to come. And the hardest part as a man is to learn how to control that. Once you learn how to control that, it makes things a little bit easier, like doing podcasting. Do things that make women not want to have sex with you, like podcasting. And you will also be quite all right, and then you'll be zen because you won't be so freaked out all the time. But yeah, so next, Craigslist misconnections. Need new daughter. So it's like another dominating thing, but now it's on the other hand. Early 50s, WM, I'm assuming that means white male, seeking a new daughter to train, ! Pictures are required for application. So ladies, anybody out there want to be a new daughter for a, early 50-year-old white male that lives in Kansas City? That's what you do. You just have to email him at Craigslist neednewdaughter.com. Yeah, so that's what I would do. the more times I take a drink, the more times I feel like I'm bombing. So I feel like I'm bombing on the level 3 tonight. So it's not bad, but I do not feel, I'm just doing this. I'm like, we'll get her done. It's like a workout. So, this last one I thought was actually pretty funny. And that's why I'm saving it for last. That's why I saved it to the very last one. It's a little bit longer. So, guys, you need to sit back, grab some popcorn if you need to. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Sit back, get ready. It's a pretty funny misconnections, if you want my honest opinion. And that's the reason why I'm going to try to share it with y'all. Okay. Let me take one quick swig and let's get her going. Chug, 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 chug. Were you guys in a frat too? Yeah, you guys like a real frat boy. Yeah, I was kind of a bro. Anyway, okay, let's go. Last misconnections. Dancing at Chaos, Westport, Missouri. We danced to Without Me by Eminem at the corner of the bar near the entrance this evening. We were vibing each other pretty good, and the music was jamming. At the end of the song, you fell down and I helped you up. We embraced in a hug, and you said thank you. I was in a bit of a rush to get out of there, and I should have asked for your contact. Hit me back up. We should grab some coffee sometime. Now, what's awesome about this one is that this guy made it feel like he lost the woman of his dreams at this fucking thing, dancing to the song Without Me by Eminem. Nothing brings two people together than an Eminem song, a man and a woman, to fall in love. Wouldn't that be such a great little story that, like, so how did you and, you know, your significant other meet? Well, we were at this bar in Westport, Missouri, and we were dancing to Without Me by Eminem, because that's a great song to be dancing to. It's a great song. But yeah, it's just such an odd thing. Like, Craigslist misconnections are such a weird thing. Like, why? Like, you're hitting on it. You were talking to her. Like, you were in, dude. Why do you not ask the number? Just greatly say, hey, would it be rude if I asked for your number? That's all you have to do. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And you know what? If you bomb and you fail, and if you get used to it, and there's a point where you just find it funny. And it's to the point where you'd go out of your way to try to fuck up and get yourself such deeper into a hole so you can dig yourself back out of that hole. So, like, you have to just sit in the shit with it sometimes. And once you do that, it's just so much easier. Just, like, fucking do it. I don't understand. One of the greatest things that I ever heard, I was in an interview once for a production job. And this guy who was like, you know, like, a lot of people, like, are miserable with their life. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, what I understand is, like, he's like, but they don't ever do anything about it. I'm like, he's like, you should just fucking do something. Like, do something other than what you're doing, and most likely you're gonna get the fuck out of that situation. And I'm like, you're actually kind of fucking smart about that. And so, and it's the same thing with, like, fucking getting a woman. If you just fucking say, hey, what's up? You're talking to her. That's the hardest fucking part, getting her just to say something back to begin with. And once you do that, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fucking get her number. You're gonna get her, as long as you don't say something really fucking dumb. Like, you'll be okay. Like, you'll be all right. Like, there are a lot of women I've been with, and I'm like, I don't understand why I even had it. I should not have had an opportunity with you. Like, I'm such a douche. I'm such a dumb shit. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I can be such a fucking pile of shit sometimes. And, like, I got with them, and I dated them. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I had, like, this cool experience with some beautiful fucking woman that I never thought I'd ever have. And why? Because I just fucking went out there and I tried and I did it. I said, fuck it. Just say fuck it. And I know I've just dropped a bunch of F-bombs, but I'm dropping them because, like, this is really important to me. This is something that's really important that if anyone is listening, that's what you should do. Just do it. If you do it like this, like, I'm just doing it. I'm fucking sitting here bombing for 30 minutes, but I fucking bomb for 30 minutes so I can get better. You have to do stuff that you're fucking bad at. If you do stuff that you're bad at, you get better at them. and then it humbles you. It really does. Like, this kind of stuff humbles the shit out of me. It's like, okay, maybe I'm not as fucking as funny as I thought I am, or oh, maybe maybe I just really need to work on understanding like a flow of the situation, being able to stay in the pocket instead of trying to pop out. It's those kind of things. So yeah, like you just have to fucking just grab life by the fucking balls and ask girls for their fucking number sometimes, and then like you're gonna bomb. Like, I've bombed a lot. There's a lot of it's funny. And it also kind of sucks sometimes, but like 9 times out of 10, it only sucks with someone you really cared about, and then you see like how you fucked up if you're the one that messed up. That's when it sucks, because but then it really shouldn't suck for that long, because you should be able to see those things that you were doing wrong and then fix them. But, biggest thing is like you always should be trying to fix yourself a little bit. Go to therapy. Therapy is a big important thing to do. I am strongly a fan of doing therapy. I think everyone should do it. It's important, especially if you've gone through some little bit of trauma, which everyone has gone through a little bit of trauma. But yeah, so this has been the podcast, guys. We're slowly sliding into the 2-minute warning here. And again, I want to say, if you've been watching or been listening, been doing one of the two, I want to say thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this flight, this little 30-minute or 27-minute ride. I call it the John Show. And you know what really sucks is that like I just got this chair, but somehow it's already broken, and like I keep like sliding down. Like I gradually will like slide all the way down. And like I'm pushing down on it right now at the moment to like see it. And if you're watching the video part, you see it. You see me gradually go down. But I'll gradually, like over time, just go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. But yeah. So this has been the podcast. I've gone through like 1 beer, so I've drank like 4 beers today. This is like a new record. This is the most beers I've drank in a long time. Inconsistent row. And it was so funny. I was in North Dakota, and I had a glass of wine and a gin and tonic, and I felt like a big pile of shit. And like as soon as we got done with dinner, because I had a big old New York style steak, and this was the last night of we were gonna be in town. We just finished like shooting this whole little video, because we had to go from Arkansas to North Dakota to shoot this whole little video that we were doing, and after we got back to the hotel, I went out to the little gym and I sat on the elliptical machine, and I busted out for like about an hour and 10 minutes because I felt like such a pile of crap. I'm like, I have to sweat all this alcohol. I have to sweat today. I have to sweat. If you guys don't like sweat, like if you guys don't do like sauna, one a big thing, do sauna. It'll help you so much. Like do it like 10 to 15 minutes for 5 days. If you can get to like 3 days, it's even better. Like you knock out like 40% of like a lot of health problems. But anyway, we're sliding to like 30 seconds left in the podcast. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you have gotten this far, I want to say thank you. And you guys are the real American heroes for listening to this guy rabble and dabble and try to make himself a little bit better as a person. But yeah, again, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, John D. Clouser. If you just look down, you see my name at the bottom of the thing. That's what it is, John D. Clouser. All right, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.